What is going on, all you little oddballs? It is your boy Coreboy back at it again today with a new video. And today we have a marathon video out. And the gameplay y'all are going to be seeing is going to be just me doing some like normal PvE runs. There's not much PvE. I don't think there's any PvE or PvP in any of these runs that I did. It's just me getting quests done, running around the map, exploring a little bit, getting some loot, etc., completing stuff in the game. But I have a lot to talk about with Marathon because this game has been a hot topic for a little bit. And and we are finally able to actually sit down and play it. And I have put around, God, I would say like 14, 15 hours into the game so far. And I'm having a blast. I got to be completely honest. I am absolutely loving this game, and it for a multitude of reasons. Not only do I love the original Marathon IP, as a Halo and a Destiny fan, I feel like you have to at least know a little bit about Marathon, and it's something you probably should read into because there are a lot of things that overlap in those games with Halo, with Destiny, etc. And it's so interesting, and this game has actually scratched an itch for me that I haven't had it like scratched by an extraction shooter yet, and it has honestly it's blown me away. From the actual art design to the gameplay loop to the combat, both in a PvE sense but also in a PvP sense, it has actually to me really scratched something I haven't had scratched in the extraction shooter genre since a game like Cycles to Frontier. If you know about that game, dope. If you don't, I'm not surprised. It wasn't around for long. But while it was around, I absolutely loved that game. I loved like the weather effects. I loved all the like stuff you could do with like gear, and this game kind of all like reminds me of that in a lot of ways. And that was like one of the only extraction shooters I ever really cared about. I'm not a big Tarkov guy. I've played it a couple of times. I think it's fine. I'm just not into the whole like more milsim type of games, and that's kind of what that falls into. And then I also wasn't into Arc Raiders. I felt like Arc Raiders was, I think from a gameplay perspective, like it's a fine game. But whenever I play an extraction shooter, I want to PvP other people, and it seems like most people who play Arc Raiders do not want that. It's all about being friends, and I think that's just a really weird thing. I'm just not into that personally. But whenever I started playing Marathon, especially day one of this server slam, I was like, am I going to run into this shit? Is this something that's like going to be a problem where like everybody wants to be buddy buddy and I can't really kill anybody or else they're going to start whining about it? And that was not the case at all. I'll be honest, there is proc chat in this game. It's not really used because if you give away your position, I can promise you, you are going to have hordes of other runners coming for you because they are bloodthirsty for you. Rather that is because they are trying to complete a quest or they just want the loot that you have on you. It doesn't really matter. They will come for you and they will make sure that you know, hey, I'm going to kill you. Like, it's fine. We had it happen quite a bit yesterday. We had a lot of PvPing and it was super, super fun. Like, we were facing hordes of enemies last night, and don't get me wrong, it gets annoying sometimes. Sometimes you were going to wipe a squad, you're going to be looting, and then there's going to be another squad that just comes up from behind you and third parties you. It happens. It's fine. I will say one thing that Bungie has let be known with this game since before the server slam drop was, hey, don't get too attached to the loot you're going to have on you. You will lose it eventually, and they weren't kidding whenever they said that. My vault has fluctuated so much in between what I have. I think I only have one weapon that I have had consistently since day one, and it's this little SMG that I got because that thing kind of shreds, and I just kind of I don't want to lose it because it's kind of I don't know, I want to keep it. But I will say this game it is so rewarding whenever you get those big runs, whenever you're taking out squad upon squad upon squad of runners and you were getting your loot up and then you go and exfil. And there are times too where the exfils get absolutely insane. Rather you're going to a normal exfil where there's no enemies and you're just trying to guard it, make sure no other runners come up to you, or you go to one of the guarded exfils that have a bunch of the UESC robots from different ranks and you have to fight them in order to exfil. And it makes it so chaotic at times. And it really teaches you to get used to not only playing the character, but also like the role of your character. Like for me, I play Assassin a lot. I'm a hunter in Destiny, and I like playing Assassin because it kind of feels like a hunter in Destiny, and it's really, really fun. But I've learned how to use his abilities, I would say, fairly effectively. One thing I always end up doing, especially when I'm extracting, is as soon as that timer hits and I see that we're about to extract, I throw my smoke down because I will go invisible in it. If anybody walks in and tries to kill my teammates, I have an upper hand because they cannot see me. And it's another thing that makes Assassin really fun in my eyes, is you are playing as not only like kind of the one who's going to push in first and get the drop on somebody, but also it allows you to play the perimeter of where you're at as well. So I can hit somebody with a sniper, they may see me for a second, but then they won't because I went invisible and went somewhere else, and I can continue dealing damage from different locations, or I can get behind somebody with like an SMG or an assault rifle and just spray into them and get them down really quickly so my teammates can come in and finish the job. One thing I really like about this game is every character feels like it has a distinct role and a distinct reason for being there in the game, and I think that is one thing that makes this game feel so unique. You will see people running different runners all the time. You'll see Vandals, you are going to see Triage, you're going to see Recon, you're going to see Berserker, you're going to see your Assassins, your Rooks, etc. And it makes it really unique because you're getting in different engagements 24/7. Like, no engagement that I've had in this game feels the same as the one prior. You're going to have people who play Vandal and are just going to be running straight at you trying to get as much damage as possible, but you'll also have somebody playing Vandal who's going to double jump onto a rooftop and wait and try to pick you out of a building. Or you'll have a berserker running around and he's going to be shooting missiles at you, or he will run in front of his teammates with his shield so you can't deal damage and you got to figure out, well, how the hell do I get around this guy, and stuff like that. Like, it truly makes each like gunfight feel like it matters and feels like you actually have to plan while you're fighting this person. And another thing I really like about this game as well is you're able to like actually comment this game really, really well. The areas are not too congested with random things that it's hard to like communicate with your teammates of where someone is. There was one thing I was noticing last night because I was running with a full group, that we could actually communicate and tell each other where an enemy was, not only with just the ping system, but based off of like actual like understandings of the map itself. They're big maps, but you can kind of point to a building and you can tell somebody what it is because they all have unique colors or they have like a unique location. You can be like Northwest building and he'll be in this corner and stuff like that. And it makes it really easy to actually get those communications out so your teammate can actually fight with a advantage of a sort. And overall, the combat in this game just feels absolutely phenomenal. I am in love with it. I think, like I said, the gunplay feels really good. The abilities feel super smooth. I haven't ran a character yet that I'm like, this feels really clunky, and I really like that a lot personally. Because that's one thing about extraction shooters. I have a friend of mine who ended up playing with me on day one of the server slam, and he was like, this game does feel slow, but I don't feel like clunky. I don't feel like I'm out of place here. Like, yeah, my character feels weighty. It feels like I can't move as fast as I can in other games, but I feel like I can still use it to my advantage in certain cases, and that's how I feel too. Is yes, you're not going to be moving as fast in this game as you would like Destiny, COD, or Halo, anything like that. You are going to be slower, but certain characters have certain abilities that really allow you to use that to your advantage, like Vandal, for example, or even Assassin. In my case, I use his abilities a lot to be able to run around and people can't see me, and I think it makes it like the engagements really, really fun. And then we can get into a little bit of the actual like faction side of things and the story side of games. I will say this. If you've never like read up on Marathon's lore prior to this game coming out, I think you should if you were trying to get invested into the story. The Marathon story is a little bit weird. It's a little bit out there, and there's a lot of things to piece together. One thing you will notice a lot throughout this game with the actual factions themselves is that no one's really a good or an evil. There are ones that are better than others, but they're not an absolute good and an absolute evil in this case. And you learn a lot by just going around the area, seeing dead bodies, picking up things, and hearing like audio logs, or going into your codex and reading things, or listening to the dialogue that the actual factions will have with you as you complete their story quest. So there's a lot to take in on this game and a lot to learn from it. And if you're not paying attention, you are going to be lost. And that's completely okay because if you watch me or any other people who do content like this, I'm going to start doing videos to kind of explain certain story elements of this game and to kind of piece my own things together, involving things from like the codexes, the actual story missions, etc. So stick around for that. Those videos will come later, playing towards when the full game comes out, so I can get through all the story quests and actually put it all together for you all. And figure out some of the hidden secrets within Marathon itself, because there is going to be a lot, I think. Bungie is really heading towards we want to keep this game mysterious, which is one thing I really like that they're doing with this game. It gives me the vibe of like the original Halo trilogy or D1. It kind of gives that feeling of what is going to happen. We don't know everything yet. And I feel like that's one thing that people miss in Bungie games, because Destiny 2, we kind of understand it all at this point. And I feel like that's one thing people miss is the wondering of what the fuck is happening? What is this? And that's one thing I think Bungie does really well when they first drop a game, and I hope they continue it on in Marathon because I think it's a thing that has always made Marathon super, super special is you never truly know everything. You kind of always have to have this sneaking suspicion of what the fuck can happen in this world that I haven't seen yet. And I think that is something that actually makes it super, super special. And if you're getting involved into the story, which I think you should, because it's a major part of this game, it really makes it super interesting, and you will be hooked for hours. There are times after streaming everything where I'm just sitting here looking through my codex. I'm like, God damn, this is a lot of stuff to learn, and I'm kind of fucking with it. Even stupid shit has a meaning somehow. Drinkable cheeseburgers, brother, what? But yeah, it has like some sort of tying it into everything, and it's there, and you can read up on it and see what it's about. But besides that, let's talk about the factions a little bit because there's a lot of really cool things about this faction that come into the actual gameplay of the game. So you are going to be starting out with Cyber Acme, and they're kind of just your default faction. You're going to learn a lot of the story from them. You're going to get some story beats from them, but you're also going to get used to how the actual game feels. It's going to have you killing UESE robots. It's going to have you extracting things. It's going to have you sitting there and disrupting radio towers or finding terminals. And then after that, you're going to get used to the introduced to the other factions. It are going to be New Caloric, Mida, Arachne, Traxxas. These are the five that are in the actual server slam. And then Sekaguchi, which will be in the actual full game. Personally, my favorite is Mida. I think Mida is super, super cool, so I am going to talk about them for a minute. They're kind of like a revolutionary kind of faction. They are very like anarchist. They want to break everything down from the UESC and kind of honestly the other factions like New Caloric, and they want to make their mark. You will notice when you pick up a Mida faction quest that it's going to be stuff like kill UESC commanders, go through and break windows in places, hit things with grenades. They are a lot of like equipment based, so you'll get things like grenades from them. You'll get like trap packages and a bunch of other stuff from Mida that really fits their story. And I really like how they do that in this game. Is each faction rewards for completing an actual contract applies to what their story is and how they are as a faction. Like, for example, Arachne. Arachne is all about PvP. You have to go kill other runners. You have to deal damage to runners. You need to interrogate runners. You need to eliminate or execute runners. That's their whole thing is this is for the best of the best, the strongest of the strongest, and becoming the hunter and not the hunted. And all of their rewards are going to grant you things like weapons and shields and stuff like that. And then we have a faction like New Caloric, which is going to grant you things like health packs. It's going to give you implants or cores, etc. And all of their quests are based around finding out things in the geographical area or ecosystem of this planet. And I think it makes them all feel super unique. Of okay, well, I need to go get some heals. I need to do some quests that's going to grant me some stuff for healing. Go do some New Caloric contracts. Oh, I need some like equipment for my character. I need trap packages. I need smokes. I need grenades, etc. Go do Mida quests for a little bit. Oh, I need some guns. Go do Arachne and go upgrade their own skill trees to go obtain those things easier. And I think that is something about this game that actually makes every faction super, super fun. Is they all feel unique and they all serve a purpose to the bigger world of Marathon and its gameplay. Another thing, because I've seen a lot of people complaining about it, of I'm dying a lot and I can't get things done. Fun fact, I'll be completely honest with you. I die a lot in this game too, because a lot of people are PvPing and you're gonna die sometimes. It's really not that hard to get stuff done, even on top of that. Some of these quests are, yes, do this in one run. For example, the Traxxas Unlock one is a do in one run, and it's in a pretty hard area of the game. But it's not that hard to get all these things done. You just kind of have to be efficient. You have to learn in your head, when do I want to engage in PvP? When do I not engage in PvP? And that's a lot of what this game entails. It's actually using your brain, and I don't think it's that hard. And I see a lot of people complaining about it, and if you're not going to take the time to learn it, you're not going to have fun with it. If you were just constantly wanting to go run in PvP people and like you're expecting to win every gunfight when people might be better kitted than you, then that's your fault. If you've done that yourself, you need to actually learn the game better. That is completely on you, not anyone else, not the game itself. Like, you have to actually learn how to play the game correctly and learn when do I want to go PvP? When do I need to go defeat a bunch of UESCs? When do I need to be in this area to do these things? And do I need to like sneak by here and actually try to go find the things that I need before I go and extract or go take on another fight? And I think that's what makes Marathon so good. Truly, I think the thing that makes this game so much fun is there is so much to do, and it's not that difficult to do it, first of all, but also it's rewarding to do these things. We had a couple of runs last night where we were like hitting big jackpots of loot. I was always getting the least amount because my buddy stole everything that's good. Just shout out Austin. Why'd you do that? That was mean as hell, and it kind of made me mad, but it's okay. But other than that, like, it's truly a great game. And I feel like this game, in the state that it's in from what we played last year with the alpha, is a a stark, and I mean stark difference. And it is so much fun, and there is so much stuff to do in this game. And genuinely, I couldn't be more excited for the release of Marathon. I have had so much fun with the game, just learning it and actually understanding what's going on in this world. And honestly, I cannot wait for the full game to be here to try out even more things, to try build crafting on my characters with the cores and the implants, and build crafting with my own weapons, finding legendary attachments that I can apply to my weapons to make them do different things. Like, as you can see on here, this little SMG that I'm using, if I'm not mistaken, this is the one they were hinting at, because it does have like a smart tracking element to it where it'll lock onto an enemy and the bullets will follow them, similar to a gun like the Needler from Halo. And they did say that there is a weapon in this game with a legendary attachment that has a super combine effect like the Needler from Halo. And I'm assuming it's this SMG, and you bet your ass I'm going to be finding that fucking thing because I need it. They also have a lot of other weapons that pay some homage to Halo in this game. So if you're a Halo fan, you're going to love this. To me, I love it. You have weapons like the BR-33 volley rifle, which of course is kind of a reference towards the battle rifle from Halo, and it acts just like the battle rifle from Halo. It's a 3-round burst precision rifle, and by God is it fun to use. And then you also have a weapon like the Magnum, and I think it's called actually the CE Magnum, funny enough. It is a hand cannon, and it is so much fun to use. It's a 3-tap on most of like the lower tier robots. It's usually a 5 to 6 tap on some of the bigger ones, and this thing absolutely shreds upon other runners. It is one of my favorite weapons to run in the game as Assassin, because I can get close range and act like I'm using a wingman from Apex Legends, or just using the Magnum from Halo. It has a fairly slow fire rate, but it deals a fuckload of damage, and the name for it I think is absolutely awesome. There's also things like the Overrun AR, which is like a very close quarters AR. I don't think it's a good at range weapon, but you get close range with that big mag attachment on it, and you are able just to spray into enemies. You are going to get your damage off. You are going to be downing people, and it's pretty fun to use. And it feels like each weapon in this game does have its own uses. I've got to use like a couple of the different rail guns and stuff like that, and they all feel fairly unique and like they have a purpose within the game. Some weapons are more geared towards playing stealthy. Some weapons are more geared towards running and gunning and getting into fights. And I just really like it. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of geeking about the game right now. But I think that's really all I gotta say today, guys. I'm absolutely loving Marathon. I'd love to know how you all are feeling down below, so please let me know. We will be live streaming tonight. We will be playing Marathon, of course. And other than that, that's really it. I love you all. And yeah, later.